Lee Cockerell, A Legacy of Leadership. As the former executive vice president of Disney operations at Walt Disney World Resorts, Lee Cockerell leaves an amazing legacy of leadership behind him. It was a long road to get there that ended with one of Walt Disney's greatest legacies. His path to becoming an inspirational leader that he is today did not start with Disney. In fact, it started with the Hilton Corporation. There he truly developed the beginnings of his leadership style. After 8 years with the Hilton, Cockerell found his leadership stride with the Marriott Corporation and grew with Marriott for 17 years before becoming a legacy with Walt Disney Resorts. There, he stayed for 25 years. In his book, Creating the Magic, Cockerell discusses in great depth that his greatest failures were not being able to communicate properly as a leader. He discusses in his early career that his volatile leadership caused many issues with his staff and caused the staff to have a high turnover rate. It wasn't until he learned that everyone is important that he truly began to grow and take strides as an effective leader. During a visit to a Hilton in El Paso, Texas, and having the director of foods not be present because he was in the hospital due to being so stressed out by Cockerell's visit, did Cockerell realize that he was a scary leader and that needed to change. Cockerell states that this was a low point in his career. After growing leaps and bounds during his time with the Marriott Corporation and perfecting his newfound leadership style as a positive leader and role model, did Disney come knocking. Cockerell's Disney career started in 1990 as the director of food and beverage and quality control at Disneyland Paris hotels. From there, he became the vice president of resort hotels operations in Disneyland Paris, and in 1993 he came back to the United States to be the senior vice president of the hotel division at Walt Disney World Resorts. Later moving on to senior vice president of the hotel division at Walt Disney World Resorts, and finally in 1997 becoming the executive vice president for all of Walt Disney World operations. As Lee's career grew, he created a leadership program that would change the way Disney leadership would be developed and eventually would change the way many companies and corporations train their future leaders, regardless of the area of business. Lee has since published 3 books on leadership: Creating the Magic, The Customer Rules, and Time Management Magic, with a 4th book coming soon, Creating Career Magic. Cockerell's leadership program has helped develop over 40,000 leaders at Walt Disney World Resorts and Parks, not to mention the thousands of different Fortune 100 companies throughout the world. But for me, the most important influence he's had is in his son, Dan Cockerell, who is now the Vice President of Magic Kingdom. This truly shows me that this man has the power to influence the world to change for the better, especially if he can inspire his own son to follow his footsteps. For me, learning and researching the leadership skills that Lee Cockerell teaches have already influenced me in my own ventures at Disney. After reading Creating the Magic during my college program, I have used the 10 leadership strategies to help further my career by knowing my audience and knowing how to lead by example. It has helped me to be part of 2 opening teams as well as a trainer with prospects of moving up into leadership and one day into my ultimate goal, which is to become a performance specialist or casting director. I feel that Lee Cockerell is an industry leader that has proven that he can follow his own advice to grow Walt Disney into the brand that it is now, as well as influence the world's future business leaders.